Did you know that you can learn everything you need to know about life with one of these, a rubber band? You want to know how? Stay with us.
Let's say this rubber band represents the world of form. It's form.
Right.
So it represents our situations, our circumstances, our experiences. Now, there's predominantly 4 things that we do with our experiences. Number 1 is we take them and we deny them. I can't deal with this. I can't look at this. This is too painful.
So we stick it away.
Exactly. We shove it, under the rug or in a drawer. And what happens when we do this day after day after day is you end up with something like this. The second thing we do is we try to make things happen, which would be equivalent to me taking this rubber band and twisting it around my wrist. What would happen at that point? I'd cut off the circulation, right? Life wants to flow. Life wants to express itself. And yet often when we're trying to make things happen, we're actually constricting that life flow. And the third thing we do with our experiences are we take them and we use them to hurt ourselves, which would be equivalent to snapping ourselves with our rubber bands. Now, anytime we react, anytime we're stressful, this is what we really are doing to ourselves. And the last thing we do with our rubber bands, and you'll probably have to have a little disclaimer across the set, the text there, do not try the stunt at home. But another thing that we do with our rubber bands is we take them and we shoot them outward at other people. So we use our experiences to hurt people. And of course, what often happens then is you get into this little thing, ping, ping.
Yeah, a little competition. We know that there's thousands of forms of meditation.
Yeah.
But the concept of making your life a meditation is an interesting one.
It is.
So talk to us about that.
And I've recently made that. I really feel like I'm living to where my life is a living meditation. And I, before, thought of meditation, you have to be in the lotus position with your eyes closed, And when I first tried meditation a while ago, it was like, oh, no, I have too many thoughts. I can't do that, so I'm not good at meditation. And so we kind of have this stigma about meditation. And yet, really, it's about living in the moment and feeling that aliveness within. So you're internally focused instead of externally focused or externally motivated.
Okay, but the question, so what you're introducing is a really radical idea that meditation can be taken from stillness into activity, but you still maintain obviously you have to maintain the sense of presence.
You're still doing outer activities and you're still meditating, you're still inwardly focused. What I've done recently is I started what I'm calling the meditation challenge. And what I'm doing is I'm doing meditation teleconferences over the phone where we're actually taking 21 days, because it takes 21 days to make a habit, 21 to break a habit. And we're actually meditating for 21 days in a row together over the phone. And I know, it sounds funny over the phone, right?
So is it just silence for 20 minutes?
No, actually we do that. We do silent meditations, but what I do is talk about different techniques to really feel that inner aliveness. And one meditation that we do on the phone that I absolutely love, and this is kind of getting to that place that we're talking about, is we'll really close our eyes and we'll really start feeling our inner essence. And then about halfway through the 15-minute meditation, I have people open up their eyes and look around the room while still feeling their inner body. And so it's such a transformational place to be, where you're looking at things externally and yet you're still feeling your inner essence. And so that's what meditation really is. And we do silent meditations as well. But I introduce a lot of different techniques during those 21 days to really get to that point where you're living a meditation. You're not just going into a room for 15 minutes with your eyes closed. In fact, now I like to meditate with my eyes open. The big situation that I was really reactive to recently was the situation in Darfur. And I was the genocide and this, and I got into that energy and it was like, okay, am I adding to the problem? Or, and I really had to ask myself that. And so I went within. It's like, what would Spirit express through me now? And it's not a place of reaction. And I can still do action. I can still donate to organizations that help alleviate suffering and do that. But I do that from a place of being, without the reaction, without that energy there. My gift truly that I could offer anyone, and it's been a transformation for myself, is to really live from the inside out, to get to that place where your life is a living meditation, so that when you're watching the TV, when you're doing activities, there's all this external stuff going on, and yet you're internally focused, you're aware of your presence, so you're not adding to the problem, but you're expanding your consciousness, which has an effect, a ripple effect.